It's so good to drive a TJ again. These things are awesome off-road. Just the right combination of wheelbase, torque, just amazing off-road. Especially here in the Northwest, things are kind of tight. You need something that's very maneuverable. Boy, this car is. I remember back in 1997, we were all anticipating the Jeep coming out. It was going to have round headlights, of course, but what was really exciting was coil suspension. Wow, that opened such a window for development work for aftermarket products. You know, we were so wild that everyone anticipated for months, what's it going to ride like? What's it going to feel like? Well, it turned out to be brilliant. And of course, with Old Man Emu on it, it's even better. Having wheeled for 30 years, you gain a few skills, maybe some by accident, but just repetition helps. And it's so nice to have a vehicle that's simple, but yet sophisticated. I say that the TJ is fuel injected, sophisticated, great for, you know, the issues you have with altitude or hill climbs and such, but it's still simple. You know, you don't find any fast glass or electric windows in this thing, no heated seats. You lift the hood, you can still see and understand and recognize some of the parts that are in there. I just have to say that for me, this TJ is a brilliant blend of all the parts that one could possibly get and put on a vehicle that achieves the desired end result. And that's predictability, safety, and ability. You know, it's really good having air lockers and good suspension and all the good gear. As you learn and your skills increase and you can approach more challenging obstacles, it's wonderful to have those on-demand air lockers. Just hit a button, compressor locks it in, and off you go. Turn it off when you want it off. Brilliant. But I think at the end of the day, you know, it's having the right equipment. You know, air lockers are great. Old Man Emu suspension's great, but if you get stuck, sometimes you get high-centered, you've got to have a winch. You're not going to get out of it without it. You know, having the right equipment for the job, the right tool for the job is always important. In 1984, when I got hired on with ARB in Melbourne, Australia, I interviewed one day and I was hired the next. And I remember being fascinated by the quality of the products. I'm not an engineer. I can't design something, but I can see something and know if it's well built. And I was amazed at how well built the things were. And I took trips down on the floor and spoke to the welders and got to know them. And it was very interesting listening to them. Even back then, they spoke with such pride on subjects of welding and choice of steel and how they would, you know, they'd collaborate with, you know, the guys that are working brake presses and, you know, everything else, even the storemen and such. Everyone really worked together as a cohesive unit. There was only, I think I counted once, I remember there being 35 employees. Of course, we got well over 1,400 now. But it was, and still is, a brilliant collaboration of different people and ideas, with the end goal being, let's make a great product. But one thing ARB has always done is adjusted and changed to meet the times. You know, the product range is a good example of that. There's so many things, so many different product categories that have, I guess, ebb and flowed with, you know, demands. Certain core products, of course, are always been there. Air locking differentials, the ARB air locker, you know, that's been a staple for decades. Old Man Emu suspension, yeah, it's another staple. And the bumpers, of course. But other product categories, like the refrigerator freezers, being able to chill or freeze your product for weeks on end as you're driving is a huge benefit. This TJ project has been a lot of fun to do. And it's going to continue, of course. There's a lot more coming forward in 2016. If you wish to follow this TJ on the ARB Off-Roads Icon project, just click the link below and then you'll be able to follow through at your leisure.